We've always felt very much that our mission was to give back to the community because they created us. COVID-19 was a surprise to everybody in the healthcare community. In a time of crisis, you have a real sense of people coming together and helping out. It was so heartwarming to see the reaction and the response we had. We saw firsthand how that happened with so many people throughout our community, and so many of us have benefited from this outpouring of support. We saw people using skills that they had in different ways.
So Miracles on Site works with 3D printing in our day-to-day operation. Our day-to-day operation, like many small businesses, was impacted when Corona first arose. We began to look for ways to repurpose our existing infrastructures and assets so that we could better serve the community. One of the ways we did this was figure out how to 3D print face shields. We essentially turned my dining room into a manufacturing facility. This was very much a grassroots effort where we got to know and feel connected with those in our communities. We began slow and sort of ramped up, and then in connecting with Trellis, we learned that they were in desperate need of basic PPE so that their staff could continue providing the incredibly important services that they do within our community.
I think this goes to base humanity. We all have a responsibility to one another. Community, you see a need, and you try to fulfill it. We have a responsibility to everybody else. And there was talk of hand sanitizer. Somewhere I'd realized that the base of hand sanitizer is just alcohol. And I happen to use that as my base for my gin. Try to help people out. I've got all this ethanol, and I actually ordered more ethanol, kind of like twice as much as I normally order. We used a good portion of it to make the hand sanitizer. Started working with Wake Forest Baptist Hospital because they knew they were gonna need a lot of it, and they started planning ahead. So I donated 180, something like that, gallons of ethanol, which they can turn into God knows how many bottles. Those guys knew what they were doing, but I helped guide them along with the WHO and the guidelines of how to make hand sanitizer. What we need in life to be happy as a person, showing up at, and being able to, give the bottles to Rosalie and Trellis, that puts a smile. That makes me feel good. It's fun going around feeling like Santa Claus, making people happy with something that's gonna help people.
Project Mask is a group of volunteers. We gathered people and materials, fabric, elastic, and started this whole group of volunteers to make masks for the healthcare providers.
And the hospitals are contacting us. It just all felt very absurd. But we knew it needed to be done, and we knew that no one else was doing it, and we had to do it. We've put out over 120,000 free masks to the community.
We've got to step up. We've got to do this. We've got to protect these people who are in turn protecting us when we need it. So many masks. So many masks.
I found Trellis and I volunteer. I learned that there were various areas of volunteerism there, but I consider myself a people person. So I wanted to have the interaction with the patients. But with COVID, all of the visits were cut out. Somebody came up with the idea of the window visit. That was great. I really enjoyed that. I was just glad that I was able to continue my relationship with the patients. This has given me an opportunity to meet people and to expand my horizons and just be helpful where I could.
Before the pandemic, I got to interact with my patients regularly, and that's the part of the job that I really, really love. We couldn't interact with our patients as closely. I'm a hugger, I'm a toucher, and with this pandemic, it's a lot different than I'm used to. At first, no, I didn't feel adequately protected, but now I feel 100% protected. I think it's amazing that people in the community want to help us out, to go from producing alcohol to producing hand sanitizers to help us feel safe and secure, or producing face masks is great.
We had two options. You can either sit around wringing your hands, or you could jump in and be part of the solution. Volunteer,
do it. I get that warm, fuzzy feeling, and I like that.
It's like a little victory, little smile. Drive home, feel good about it.
Community-wide, COVID could not stop our compassion, and it's a wonderful feeling.
I just want to say thank you to our volunteers. I want to say thank you to the community for keeping the nurses and our CNAs and other frontline workers safe.